Welcome, everyone. I call to order the Bryan Municipal Utilities Board meeting for May 7th, 2024. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Sean, please do the roll call.
Yes, Karen Ford,
Yes, here.
Annette Schreiner,
Present.
Jim Salsbury,
Yes.
Dick Long,
Yes. Present.
and Bob Eyre.
Yes.
All present.
The minutes of the last meeting on April 16th have been distributed for everyone's approval. Is there anything that needs to be updated? If not, a motion is needed to approve.
Seeing none, I'll make a motion, we accept the April 16th as written. I'll second.
Dick,
Yes.
Bob,
Yes.
Karen,
Yes.
Annette,
Yes.
and Jim.
Yeah.
Up next is a hearing of public concerns. If there's anyone out there who'd like to address the board, please come to the podium and state your name. None seen. Next on the agenda is a resolution to recognize National Drinking Water Week, May 5th through the 11th. John, would you number and read by title?
I will. Resolution number 8, 2024, recognizing National Drinking Water Week, May 5th through the 11th, 2024, and the essential role water plays in our daily lives.
So for more than 40 years, the American Water Works Association and its members have used Drinking Water Week as a unique opportunity for both water professionals and the communities they serve to recognize the vital role that water plays in our lives. This year, Drinking Water Week, May 5th through the 11th, also coincides with a historic milestone. It's the 50th anniversary of the Safe Drinking Water Act, which was landmark legislation that was designed to safeguard the public by setting high drinking water standards. The Safe Drinking Water Act also provides framework to identify potential risks to drinking water and addresses them in partnerships with the states and other water utilities. Drinking Water Week acknowledges and celebrates the essential water professionals whose expertise and commitment ensures around-the-clock delivery of safe drinking water. So I would respectfully request that the board recognize May 5th through the 11th as National Drinking Water Week.
Derek, how do we promote this?
So we have been posting on social media, also ads in the local newspaper, and then also by the BPA resolution.
A motion, please.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second it.
Bob,
Yes.
Annette,
Yes.
Karen,
Yes.
Jim,
Yes.
and Dick.
Yes.
Up next is a resolution to authorize a master service agreement for compensation market assessment and other services. John, would you please number and read by title?
Resolution number 9, 2024, authorizing the Director of Utilities to exercise a master service agreement with Willis Towers Watson US LLC for a compensation market assessment and other associated services.
So the current compensation plan and philosophy was developed and approved by the board in 2016. It is in need of an update and evaluation of the compensation plan. The statement of work includes data collection, current market compensation or wage survey, and a pay structure development for non-marketing positions. This study will take approximately 8 to 12 weeks. It's estimated and not to exceed $20,000. We did receive another quote previously for a wage survey, and that was a wage survey only, and that was for $16,000. So this looks to be a pretty comprehensive study. We were recommended Willis Towers Watson's specifically because of their experience with municipal utilities. The master service agreement has been reviewed by Mark Fischel. And just a little bit of information about who Willis Towers Watson is. They provide data-driven, insight-led solutions in the areas of people, risk, and capital that make organizations more resilient, motivate workforce, and maximize performance. They represent over 12,000 companies, 32 million employees across the 130 countries. With your approval, Alex Damon would be our project manager. Tricia and I have met with him, feel confident in their abilities to give us the study that we're looking for. So I would request your approval for a master service agreement.
Derek, quick question. The last one was done in 2016. What surface make this 2024 necessary?
There's a lot of inconsistencies within the current structure. And honestly, I can't tell you when the last outside firm did a wage survey. It's been several years. So that's kind of what sparked it.
I think it's an excellent idea.
Yeah.
I think it's overdue because
Way
with the way the job market is nowadays, if you don't stay competitive, you're going to be constantly looking for help. And employees will, and you can't blame them, with the
I don't want-
chasing money, but yeah, I don't want to say it that way, but yeah, that's
Chasing talent.
yeah.
And when we set that up many years ago,
It was effective when you did it.
Yes.
It's just time for it to be reevaluated.
things
Yeah.
have really changed since then, and it really is in dire need of an update.
And how many times have we dealt with like compression issues and stuff over the last years? And it seems like every few years when the contract's ratified, we're dealing with a compression issue again. So I think it's money well spent.
Very well spent.
I'll make a motion that we approve resolution, I'm sorry. Did you ask for a motion to approve?
Any other discussion?
No,
Then
I'm sorry.
fine, we're fine.
No, I agree with that.
I also agree it is time and compression is tight.
Do you see the next one? I mean, it seems like to me 2016 is kind of a long time. Are you looking maybe something doing every 3 years?
I mean, that could be a good benchmark to use.
I'm just saying, it seems like to me, that time frame it's outdated. And I'm not making a recommendation, but I would think that something where maybe every 3
3 to 5 years.
3 to maybe 5, but I think it has to be somewhere in that range. To wait too much longer, you might find yourself outside the marketplace. You're not even aware of it.
I think that's something we'll learn through the process is what is that recommendation.
I mean, the other thing I saw too is that the American Public Power Association, I sent this to you today,
Yeah.
they do an annual salary survey, and BMU is active in participating in that. That helps you keep you engaged with what's happening, but it doesn't answer a lot of the questions that have to be addressed with the talent, the positions, where are these people, how do we get these people here, things like that. So, yeah, I mean, that's a kind of just a true up, to my opinion, on an annual basis, which I think is great that you guys do that. And I recommend you continue doing that, just to make sure that everything's in order. But I would say 3 to 5 years probably needs to be more of the norm, versus anything longer.
And again, there could have been a wage survey since then, I'm just not aware.
With their experience in the municipal utility business, it'd be good to see what the average is amongst other utilities, our size.
Yeah, maybe you can benchmark it and see where
Yeah.
we're coming in on that, but, yeah, you're definitely overdue on something like that.
Good discussion. Anyone else? Otherwise, motion is ordered.
Go for it.
I'll make a motion that we adopt Eyre, Watson Towers to do this study.
I'll second.
Dick?
Yes.
Jim?
Yes.
Karen?
Yes.
Annette?
Yes.
And Bob?
Yes.
Okay, next up on our agenda is a resolution to adopt and implement APPA's 17th edition safety manual. John, would you number and read by title, please?
Yes, resolution number 10, 2024, to formally adopt and implement the 17th edition of the American Public Power Association's Safety Manual for the guidance and safety of all employees.
The board has a long-standing philosophy of taking pride in its practices to ensure safety, health, and well-being of all staff. Formally adopting and implementing the 17th edition continues to show staff the board's commitment for a safe and injury-free work environment. This adoption also assists with the Reliable Public Power Provider Certification, or RP3. The APPA Safety Manual has been a key tool for public power utilities since 1955. In order to ensure relevancy, the manual is updated every 4 to 5 years. The board adopted the 16th edition back in 2018. It's been revised and expanded to incorporate a number of changes that include OSHA, NESC, or National Electric Safety Code, and other federal and industry standards. Some of the revisions and additions are to the general rules, health and environmental control, chemical and physical hazards, PPE, and electric utility operations. So I would respectfully request that the APPA 17th edition safety manual be adopted.
I would be interested in having the highlights pointed out just for everyone to hear. Would you like to read them for us?
Some of the highlights, this came from APPA's website. The highlights of the changes include small cell antenna clearances, communications and supply space, RF safety training, effective grounding, power and communication space, backfeed considerations, RF clothing for medium voltage equipment, switching rules, and battery storage or electrochemical generation. Those are the highlights of those changes in the manual.
Appreciate you doing that. I think it just helps to show the detail of some of what is involved in that safety manual, amongst other things. But some current event topics that are very important. So, yes, any discussion, or we can move to a
It's
motion?
always been a great program. We followed APA's guidelines. They have even provided safety training, and it's always been great. And, I mean, it's obvious. You know, look at our safety record.
We got to keep up with the ever-changing world, too.
We are working with APPA to try and get one of their instructors to meet with us to review these changes more in detail and give us the opportunity kind of for a question and answer discussion of some of the changes as well.
It's a great idea, too. Anything else, or motion?
I'll make a motion.
I'll second it.
Bob?
Yes.
Annette?
Yes.
Karen?
Yes.
Jim?
Yes.
And Dick?
Yes.
Next up is a motion to effect semi-monthly disbursements.
I would like to make a motion that we pay the bills.
I'll second.
Annette?
Yes.
Dick?
Yes.
Karen?
Yes.
Jim?
Yes.
And Bob?
Yes.
Any comments from BPA and staff? Bob, we can start with you.
We get these emails and I'm sure they're coming from Derek's group, and I always like browsing through them to see what pops up there. One always caught my attention here, and I shared this with Derek today, was the fact that the U.S. Cybersecurity published a Russian hacktivist fact sheet, and I shared that with him and asked him if that's something that we're looking into, because of the fact that the world we live in, like Netta said, it's just, it's so volatile in a lot of ways. And they went after a town in Texas that had 5,000 people. They went after their water operations. To me, it's like, why would they do that? But if they're going to that level, it's amazing. But anyways, they had a fact sheet detailed listing from the U.S. Supersecurity or how that would work, and so I had to share that with him to see that, you know, there's something there that might be helpful. Maybe just pass it along to keep the people informed on that kind of stuff.
Pass it on to the communications department, and they do a great job of staying on top of those things.
I'm sure they do. I was looking for it, so, I mean, it changes daily. You know, just amazing. I mean, like, I imagine you probably get, 20,000 scam emails a day coming into the system, and that might be a low number, you know, that just the way the system is, the operations in the world works like that, so I think that cybersecurity is pretty important to keep tabs on that and follow up with it, so.
Probably better get used to it, because I don't think it's going to stop.
Dick,
What's very interesting, and I don't know if Derek's seen it or not, you ever been in the basement at AMP?
Have not.
They have a basement full of techs with computers down there. It's amazing. And that's all they do. That's all they do, is fight off the attacks.
You got people full-time doing this, trying to break into things.
I think they have like 13 techs down there.
There's quite a few.
That's all they do.
I'm sure the city's seen its share of it, especially the
Oh,
last
yeah.
year or so.
What caught my attention most was that they went after such a small town, 5,000 approximately. You know, it's a little smaller over here, but for them to drop to that level, you know, there must be some vulnerabilities there that they see that that's probably what they're targeting or something like that, so. So I said, share with you. Interesting to me that, you know, they have a fact sheet, and I'm sure there's a lot of information that probably redundant, but at the same point in time, there might be something new, you know, or at least some networking opportunities or something like that.
Some of the trips that the board members are offered to go to, like one Dick is going to out in San Diego, California, I think in June or sometime like that, will focus on cyber security and what a utility should do.
You have quite a few. In fact, I'm going to 3 seminars on just cybersecurity. That interests me. It's kind of interesting. You learn a lot of things. Of course, AMP again is really on top of all that stuff. They help us out a lot, so all their partners.
Anything else?
That's all I have today.
Thank you, Dick.
I don't really have anything.
Jim?
Must be something in the water, I don't have anything.
During water week.
Yeah.
That was a nice point.
Yeah.
Was it?
And we want to see you guys drinking water.
I'm curious to see how the comp study comes back. Yeah. And, again, you know, everybody drink water. It's National Water Week.
Okay. And same here. National Drinking Water Week is something that we take pride in, as we do stay diligent to the drinking water that we supply the citizens of Bryan. So,
I have nothing, thank you.
okay, John?
Same, nothing tonight.
Okay, Mr. Betts?
Yeah, last night at the council meeting, a gentleman came for public comments and gave council kudos for notifying him of water that was being done. We, of course, took that and didn't tell him that, no. What we did was we told him that we don't deal with that was BMU. So I wanted to make sure, I didn't know, we told him to get a hold of Derek and other people. But if he didn't do that, know that he wanted to express his appreciation for BMU giving him notification. And then he mentioned a couple of other entities that just start digging and don't notify. So I just thought you might want to hear that if you haven't already. If you have, I'm sorry. But I don't think it hurts to hear good news twice.
Oh, no. Thank you, John.
His name was Mr. Cox.
Mr. Cox, yes,
Yeah,
from
yes.
Huntington Drive.
He did talk very highly of our water department, so if you haven't heard yet,
It is good to hear what he had to say. Brian?
I'm good, thanks.
Okay. Mr. Metz? All right, next up, I'll take a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Second.
Dick? Jim?
Yes.
Karen?
Yes,
Annette?
Yes.
And Bob?
Yes.
meeting adjourned.